Take a deep breath with me for a second and release it. Not to fix anything and not to prepare for what's next, just to arrive. Because sometimes the hardest thing to do is to let things be good. Let me start by asking you, when things are finally starting to go well in your life, do you embrace it? Or do you wait to see if something bad will happen? Hard seasons test our strength, and yes, we struggle through them. But in my experience, it's the peaceful seasons that challenge us the most. They ask us to sit still and reveal what we haven't yet healed. We get so used to pushing, surviving, and bracing for impact that when life starts to feel aligned, our first instinct isn't gratitude, it's suspicion. This episode isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about what happens when things start falling into place and your mind tries to pull you back into fear. You see, this morning, when I woke up and I was in the shower, I felt stillness. I was full of gratitude, that quiet sense that things were aligned. I'm living in my purpose. I'm experiencing all the things I've been praying for. Like things were falling into place without force, without me having to chase, convince, or prove anything to anyone. And I remember thinking in that moment, like, wow, this feels really great. I was grateful for my body, for my breath, for the work I get to do, for my family, my friends, the relationships I built, for where I am right now in this moment and not where I'm trying to go next. And then the voice that is also familiar to all of us, the one that always knows when things are calm. It said, "This feels too good to be true. What's the bad thing that's going to happen next? Don't get too comfortable." And what's interesting to me is how automatic those thoughts were. It didn't feel dramatic, it just felt very familiar. It almost felt like a reflex. Because when you spent enough time in survival mode, peace can feel suspicious. Joy can feel temporary. Alignment can feel like something you're about to lose. And I noticed that it wasn't just about that moment itself, it's what it actually did to my body. My shoulders tightened, my breath shortened, my mind started scanning the future for danger. And right there, in that exact moment, I felt like God came and spoke to me. And it wasn't loud, but it was very clear. Almost like an internal hand on my chest saying, "No, stop. Get those thoughts out of your head. They don't belong here anymore." Because this moment, this season, this alignment, it isn't an accident, and it's not luck. It's not something that's about to be taken away. It's something you've asked for, worked for, prayed for. And that realization landed so deep. Because how often do we actually beg for change, but question it when it arrives peacefully? How often do we ask for growth, but expect it to hurt? Somewhere along the way, many of us learned that ease isn't earned. That if things feel good, something must be wrong. That struggle is the proof of progress. But alignment doesn't always come with chaos. Sometimes alignment feels quiet. Sometimes it feels stable. Sometimes it feels like exhaling after holding your breath for so many years. And that thought came through so clearly. This is what you've been working toward. This is what you've been asking for. Let yourself have it. You deserve it. You see, not everything has to be a test, and not every good moment is followed by loss. You're allowed to experience seasons where things make sense. And I want to pause here because I know someone listening needs to hear this part. If things are finally lining up for you, if life feels calmer, if your nervous system isn't constantly on edge, that doesn't mean you're missing something. It means you're finally listening to your intuition, listening to your body, listening to that quiet inner guidance that doesn't yell. Because intuition is not frantic. Fear is. Intuition is steady. Fear is loud. Fear says, brace yourself, while intuition just says, be present. And when you confuse the two, we sabotage good seasons by waiting for them to end. I realized this morning how quickly doubt can sneak in without a warning. It pulls us back into what we know is familiar. Because chaos, even when it hurts, can feel predictable. Peace requires trust, and trust means releasing the need to control the future. It means allowing yourself to enjoy what's happening now without negotiating with anxiety. That message I felt this morning wasn't about perfection. It wasn't saying nothing hard will ever happen again. It was simply just saying stop punishing yourself by anticipating pain. You've already carried enough. And that part, that's the piece that hit me the hardest. The idea of being seen every early morning, every moment of doubt you worked through anyway, every moment you showed up tired, unsure, but committed. Not just the big wins, the quiet discipline, the unseen effort, the days you kept going without recognition. That matters. You don't get aligned by accident. You don't arrive at peace randomly. There's intention behind it. And maybe this season isn't asking you to do more. It's asking you to receive, to stop questioning the goodness. Stop waiting for permission to enjoy your life, because you don't need to suffer longer to deserve peace. And let me say that again slowly. You don't need to suffer longer to deserve peace. If you're listening right now and something in your life feels stable or joyful or grounded, notice if there's a part of you waiting for it to collapse. And gently ask yourself, where did I learn that good things don't last? And more importantly, what would happen if I let myself trust this moment? Alignment isn't about having everything figured out. It's about feeling rooted even when you don't. It's about knowing that whatever comes next, you'll meet it with the same strength that got you here. So today, I'm choosing presence. Today, I'm choosing gratitude without conditions. I'm choosing to believe that what's unfolding is allowed to unfold. No bracing, no self-sabotage, no borrowing worry from a future that hasn't even arrived. Just breath, just trust, just now. And if you're in a similar place, let this be your permission to enjoy what you've prayed for, to honor how far you've come, to stop asking what's going to go wrong and start asking, how can I stay open? Because alignment isn't fragile and peace doesn't need to be defended. It just needs to be lived. In this moment, I tell myself, I allow myself to receive what God has already placed in my life. I trust the alignment. I trust the process. I trust God. And if you're in the season where things are finally lining up for yourself, don't shrink. Don't brace. Don't apologize for the blessing. Receive it.